Hey everyone, how are you doing today? Welcome to my YouTube channel if you're new to the channel. If you're not, then welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Victoria English and welcome to my channel, Freedom Mastery Success. I am your #1 expert in helping you to achieve freedom in your life. Guys, I am on a mission to help millions of people to raise their emotional frequency so that you can start to feel better about yourself and intuitively tap into your heart so that you can start to create a life of freedom that you deserve. So guys, if you like what you hear on this channel today, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. Or what I also want you to go and do is to go and grab a pen, because today guys, we are going to talk about long-term goals. In fact, we're going to talk about 10-year goals, creating 10-year goals. And what are long-term goals? They are things that we really want to achieve way distant in the future. You know, depending on how long the goal is, how far away the goal is something that we want to achieve in the future. And why is it important to create long-term goals? Because short-term goals are just as important. Now, don't get me wrong, they are just as important, but long-term goals are great for if we're planning a career, if we're planning our education, and they're also amazing for helping us to stay motivated very, very long-term. You know, they say poor people plan day to day or week to week. Rich and successful people, they plan long term. They're planning 10 years ahead, 20 years ahead, even 30 years ahead. So here we're all about creating success in our life and creating the freedom lifestyle. So today I want us to look at some 10-year goals. So guys, what do you want your life to look like in 10 years time? Have you thought about that? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Grab yourself a pen and paper, because today we're going to look at some of the areas that we can focus on when we want to create these long-term goals, and some of the questions that we can start to ask ourselves. And then you can go away and fill this in, and then you can start to create your long-term goals around your answers. First one we're going to look at is our skill set. Where do we want our skill set in 10 years time? What it takes 1 to 3 months to get the basic proficiency of certain skills. It can take you 1 year to get reasonably good at that skill, but then it will take you between 3 to 5 or even 10 years to really master that skill. So what skills do you want to master over the next 10 years? You know, is it things like communication skills? Is it things like focus, problem-solving skills, like self-esteem and confidence skills? We like to be able to be very resilient and to be able to cope with stress and manage stress very well. You know, there's so many skills that we can think of. There's public speaking skills, there's sales and marketing skills. Are two of the things that I really am going to be focusing on over the next 10 years. So what skills do you want to master over the next 10 years? Next, we're going to look in the areas of finance. Now, finance is super important, guys. You know, where do you see your finances in 10 years' time? How much money would you have amassed over 10 years? You know, have you thought about that? You know, I always say, think big, dream big. You know, how much money do you really want to make over the next 10 years? When you look at your bank account in 10 years' time, what digits do you want to see? What type of investments will you be holding? You know, there's so many ways that we can invest our money. We can invest into property, we can invest into crypto, we can invest into stocks and shares and bonds, we can invest into precious metals and oil. There's so many different things that we can invest our money into. Will you be investing in 10 years' time? Also, what will your debt situation look like? Now, for some people see debt as a bad thing, but you know, a lot of wealthy people use debt for investments. So don't write off debt. Make sure you're out of debt, but then you can use debt for investments. That's a whole another video that we'll do in the future. But what will your debt situation look like in 10 years' time? Hopefully you're saying you will be debt free. What type of assets will you own? How will you be making your money? What will you be doing to actually make your money? What level of financial security would you have obtained? Will you just be at a place where you are just getting by? Will you be financially secure? Will you have assets, to your name? Or will you have gone to that level where you're now creating a legacy? Okay, these things are important. These things are important to start looking at for the long-term future. Another great area to look at is our health. How will your health look in 10 years' time? How will you manage your weight over the next 10 years? How will you stay healthy and fit over the next 10 years? Exercise is super important to staying healthy. Eating well is super important to staying healthy. How will you look and feel in 10 years' time? Will you look younger than what you do now? By the things that we eat and, the way that we're moving our body will really add to our health. So what health goals have you got for over the next 10 years? Another great area to look at is our career. Will you be moving up the corporate ladder in the next 10 years? How far would you have moved up the corporate ladder? Will you have decided to branch out on your own and start your own business? Will you take the courage to becoming your own boss or to partnering up with somebody and starting your own business? What contributions do you want to add to the field that you're in or the industry that you're in? What skills are you going to add to your industry? What value can you add to your industry? And what will you be known for in the next 10 years? What will you be known for? Will you be known as a person who was helping so many people? Will you be known as a person who came up with so many innovative ideas for your industry? Or will you be known as that person who was out there inspiring people to be better or to do better? What will you be known for in the next 10 years? Also, what about retirement? Will you be retiring in the next 10 years? Will you want to retire and start traveling? Or will you love what you do so much that you will want to keep staying in service to others? Don't forget to look at your career over the next 10 years. The next area we want to look at, which is amazing, which is travel and adventure, guys. What do you want to do over the next 10 years? Where do you want to travel to? I've got some amazing countries on my bucket list. I've got Mexico, I've got Africa, I have got Hawaii, I have got Dubai. There's some amazing places that I would love to visit and they are on my travel list. Now, what about yourself? Where do you want to travel? What type of adventures do you want to do? Do you want to go whitewater rafting? Do you want to swim with the turtles, swim with the dolphins? What type of activities do you want to do? Do you want to go trekking up the mountains and then sleeping under the stars? There's so many amazing things when it comes to travel and adventure that we need to plan in this area as well. What about the events that you want to attend? What type of events do you want to attend? Do you want to attend networking events, seminars, festivals? Do you want to attend personal development seminars? Do you want to attend TED Talks, conferences, summits, retreats? What type of events do you want to attend over the next 10 years? Another important and really great area to look at is our relationships. Okay, what type of relationships do you want to build over the next 10 years? Who are your tribe? What type of people do you want to attract into your life? What about your romantic relationship? Where do you want that to go? Do you see yourself getting married? If you do get married, how will you guys help each other to grow? Over the next 10 years, do you want to have children? And how will you raise your children? If you do have children, how will you help to encourage and support them in the areas of their physical, emotional, mental and social development? Do you want to build a business contract? What type of people do you want to attract into your business? What type of people do you want to work with? What type of relationships will you build? What kind of people do you want to network with? And not only that, what about your social life? How will your social life look over the next 10 years? What will you be doing with your friends? Will you guys travel together? Will you just go out for lunches and brunches? How does your social life look over the next 10 years? They say the 5 people that you spend the most time around with is who you become. So make sure you choose wisely. Next area that we want to focus on is personal development. Definitely one of my areas that I am super passionate about. So over the next 10 years, what about your personal development? How do you want to grow and evolve as a person? How are you going to improve your mental and emotional health, your mental and emotional well-being? And what habits do you want to adopt over the next 10 years? All this is super important. Another area that we can look at is projects. What type of projects do you want to be doing over the next 10 years? Will it be one long project, or will it be a number of small projects? Do you want to work on writing a book, composing some music, opening a gym, as I said, starting your own business? What projects do you want to work on over the next 10 years? Will you open some schools? Will you open some retreats? They're the type of things that I'm interested in. And the reason why I'd love to open a school over the next 10 years is because I truly believe that today's school system is not teaching our children the things that are truly important. They're not teaching them the greatest life skills. There's so many people are realizing since COVID and are now homeschooling their children, because the schools are really not teaching them anything that's really going to help them. The truth is, when they put schools together all those hundreds of years ago, it was really about creating a nation of workers, not a creation of free thinkers and entrepreneurs. They just wanted a nation of workers, people who are going to be a slave to the system. And now we're starting to wake up and we're seeing that we are worth so much more. Our children are worth so much more, and we're learning to nurture their natural gifts, their creativity, and allowing them to be children. So for me, opening a school that supports that nourishes children and supports their creativity is so important. It's something I'm really passionate about. So what type of projects are you interested in? Another project I'm interested in is opening a retreat for people to really tap into their self and to really become the best version of themselves. So let me know what type of things you want to do. What projects do you want to encounter over the next 10 years? Another great area, and the last area we're going to look at, is going to be contributions. How are you going to help to make the world a better place? What charitable contributions will you be helping with? Even volunteering. What type of contribution will you be giving back to your community or to society? And so guys, once you've answered all these questions in those really important areas of our life, we can use the answers to start to create our 10-year goals. And not only that, you can plan your New Year's resolutions around your 10-year goals. You can also plan little mini challenges around your 10-year goals. 30-day challenges, 60-day challenges, 90-day challenges to help you to achieve these goals. And remember, our long-term goals are there to help us to stay motivated, to keep us motivated long-term, because as we know, sometimes the motivation does wear off, and so to keep us motivated long-term, we create long-term goals. So guys, I hope this 10-year goal plan helps you and helps you to stay motivated to create success in your life. Thank you for joining me here on Freedom Mastery Success, and if you got value from today's video, please like, share and subscribe to my channel. If you think anybody you know would like the type of information I'm sharing, please tell them about my channel, and I look forward to seeing you all soon.